Yo fam, it's Goichi Gang time. I hate the fact that I wrote that. Suda51 writes a lot of shit, right? Or at least not enough for games, but he out there. Penning out about 1,000 drafts for Shadows of the Damned, what EA rejected, doing lavishly voiced audio dramas with Kojima on the low-key down low, and even publishing some unused scripts, as was the case with Red, Blue, and Green, a canon short story set in between the 25th Ward and No More Heroes 3, tying the two together even more. So that's some pretty essential shit if you're one of the 3 people who actually follows along with his plotlines. Too bad though that it was A, just text and fuck text, and B, also exclusive to a Japan-only book about grasshopper and human entertainment, which I would like to see in English in general. Luckily, while I was hanging out in a dingy as fuck alleyway with the homie Capcom jersey, some keen shit soon went down. So like, where is he? Man, I don't know. He said he'd be here any minute. Oh.
Beat that pussy up! Beat that pussy up!
Alright boys, here it is. Spread the word around. They'll remember, this is technically illegal contraband. Don't let you-know-who find out.
Yes, sir.
Right, bitches, I'm out.
So, young homie translator ThorHighHeels teamed up with vibe god I Am the Mask to not only translate this work, but to also express it through Suda Vision, like that 25th Ward visual novel shit called Film Window. I didn't even know it was called that, but it's a fitting ass name given what it do, and man, did they ever fucking nail it too. Even taking some cues from how games like Moonlight Syndrome or Flower, Sun and Rain handled their title cards with the intro. It does take a lot from the 25th Ward though, obviously. It has those same dynamic as fuck frames, or they are originally made, and I meant like in the style of. Shit looks fucking great either way, and it really spices up the often otherwise stilted view of the visual novel. And it also seems to take the OST of the 25th as well as some other grasshopper boppers, and things like fonts and sound effects and character portraits are taken wholesale too. Where overall what I do is to create a great legit feel. Like, it doesn't seem like something unofficial. It looks like something straight up cooked up in the actual 25th Ward engine. You know, Unity, so it technically is, but you know what I mean. It doesn't feel fan-made per se, which I guess is in part due to the many assets and the OG script not being that, but it still takes a lot of skill to put shit together convincingly. You can make a shitty remix or mashup out of great original songs when you still don't know what you're doing. Regardless, this is very much a Suda51 script. First scene sees 2 dudes at a diner drinking awful coffee, one's loving it, saying that you should mask the taste with milk and sugar, and the other's like, bruh. But then, through a roundabout way of relating it to some other shit neither of them ever drank, they decide upon it now being their jam. It's quirky characterization shit like this that you see a man pull up a lot. Just putting people in silly situations, having them describe it through colorful commentary, it automatically makes them seem like just something you can relate to or laugh at. It's a charm as instant as the coffee these two is no doubt forced to slurp down. Either way, they're side characters from the 25th who met at this shithole coffee shack to discuss some of the crazy shit that happened in that game to blonde boy go bald boy jabroni. Dude kinda lost and or gained his nut in that game, and with them involved in that to a degree, they've decided in classic Suda fashion that the best course of action is to just kill the dude. But, of course, things don't go as planned, leading to the tale of these side characters coming to terms with them being just that. Some shit about a new character who, according to a PNG leak fuck-up during a livestream, will play a role in No More Heroes 3, and a handful of other cool little bullshitteries. isn't really a game though, per se. I mean, you forward the text, so it is an interactive piece of media, but given that short story from a book, that's also all you do. Turning pages. Which is fine, that ain't a complaint, but I'm just saying that reviewer style, you know? So, you know. You can also kind of tell that it was written like a book still. It was a script originally, sure, but I take it that some descriptive text and shit was added to make it more than just raw banter, and so it can feel just that smidge a bit unnatural when taken out of that context. Though that ain't really the translator's fault, cause if they would've changed a bunch to make it work, they may have jeopardized Suda's original vision, so just take that with a grain of grain, I guess. Otherwise, yeah, this shit's neat as fuck, and I'm glad that I was able to experience it. The 25th Ward might possibly be my favorite game of all time somehow, so I'm always down for more of it, and it's a cool little story connecting it to the No More Heroes universe more either way. Also, I love the cheeky pull that the profile pic for this new character is just a Windows 10 PNG file icon. Shit's hilarious and honestly perfectly fitting with this Fourth Wallace universe. PNG person is a cleaner, by the way, which further pulls it into Killer 7 too. I'm really digging the more overt nods that Suda has been pulling recently, with the 25th and Travis Returns Back combined. His games all roughly take place in the same assumed universe, kinda, but exactly how has always been really vague, feeling more like Easter eggage, a la Zaka TV or Ado from Flower, Sun and Rain appearing in Killer 7 that one time, than anything super concretely meaningful. But with shits like these, he's pulling a more direct effort to link things up with one another, whilst also maintaining what makes each game and its characters so tonally and stylistically unique. Shit makes peeling away at these games that are all in various states of comprehensibility or localization feel more worthwhile, as if finally puzzle pieces is falling when I never even really expected them to be intended to. So that certainly made dragging this into the English realm a worthy effort. So thanks again to these two wonderful people for doing just that. And if you, like me, are a big fan of Suda's visual novels and really dug what he did with Travis Strikes Back, then I'd for sure recommend you scope this boy out. It's only about half an hour long and engrossing in the same way that the ever page-turny 25th Ward was itself.